Hey everybody, Adam Davidson, RadCast for Friday, March 10, 2023. Listen, thanks for making this a part of your day and your week. I want to remind you that you can catch this on YouTube. You can catch it on Instagram. Sometimes I'll even put it on TikTok just so they have something to spy on. And of course, here on Facebook as well. If you want to connect on Facebook, that's fine, but you can also subscribe on YouTube and be alerted every time a video shows up. These usually air by 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, depending on the internet and how the morning is going with prepping the kids for school. But anyway, this comes out of a time of prayer and study and meditation that I spend every morning, and I just kind of roll with it and see where it goes. So if this helps you, that's great. Your feedback is always welcome. Anything we can do to make it better, let me know. Okay, let's get right to it. This is Mark chapter 2. We've been studying this week this story of Jesus forgiving and healing a paralyzed man. The whole thing ends with him basically saying to this man that he's forgiven. He says, "Get up, take your mat, and go home." He got up, took his mat, and walked out in full view of them all. This amazed everyone, and they praised God, saying, "We have never seen anything like this." And that's the word of the Lord, Mark chapter 2, verses 11 through 12. Fascinating end to the story. Why is it that the man who was carried in on a mat ends up carrying his mat out? Well, let's play a little game show. We'll do a little multiple choice. Jesus says, "Get up, take your mat, and go home." The taking of the mat seems like an unnecessary step. He clearly doesn't need it anymore. Why is it that he needs to carry his mat out, the mat that carried him in? Is it A, so that people see and recognize him? You know, that's an important part of this. This is a testimony of healing. Jesus wants to make sure that, yes, people recognize him, and that's the guy that came in through the roof carrying his own mat. Is it that? Is it B, they needed space in the house? You know, the house was packed wall to wall, people standing outside. That mat may have taken up the space of 2 or 3 listeners. Or is it C, his mat is now a trophy? So you've got A, so people can see him, B, because they need space, or C, because his mat is a trophy. Why does he carry the mat out? I say it's all 3, but I really want to focus on the third thing, that his mat is like a trophy. Think of it this way. Suffering carries us to darkness and difficulty, just like he was carried on a mat. We encounter Jesus in our suffering. We're encountering the light and the peace and the healing of God. And then we carry our suffering with us to new life. Think of it this way. If we were to see Jesus right now in this moment, like if we were to be whisked to heaven, we would see at the center of all things a slain lamb, says Revelation, that Jesus still has his wounds in his hands, in his side, in his feet. Why is it that a healed, perfect body still has these marks? It's because you and I experience suffering, and the suffering changes us, and we become more like Christ, and we're not ashamed of it. We carry it like a trophy. So in all of your suffering and all of your pain, the important thing is that you meet Jesus, that as you encounter him in his light, he pulls you out of the darkness of that suffering, and then you walk out of that grave, if you will, carrying your mat, carrying your trophy. I've experienced this in my life. He doesn't make it go away. He redeems it, and he makes you more like him, and thus brings about the healing of the world. Think about it. See you Monday. That's RadCast.